but for those of you that are majority, some of you have the same issues that we have. And this is for anyone who has issues with your credit. If you have issues with your credit, there are a few things that I want you to know. And number one is the credit bureau is not your family and friends. It is not your family and friends. You have to remember that. So the credit bureau is not going to change your credit unless you contact them and figure out what is going on with your credit. So just remember that they are not your family and friends. The credit bureau is a for-profit organization that, or any organization can call them and say, hey, Joe Blow did this and didn't pay for it, so put this on their credit report. And guess what? They do it. And they will not take it off unless who disputed? You. So sometimes people are amazed that the credit bureau can put anything they want onto your account. And basically, the only way you can get it off is disputed. And sometimes it is very difficult to dispute it. So you want to keep that in mind. Number one, the credit bureau is not your friend. They are not your family. Number two, the credit bureau is a for-profit organization. And number three, anyone can report to the credit bureau. So remember those three things when you are thinking about trying to improve your credit. So I want to give you about 19 areas, and these are going to be pretty quick, but I want to give you about 19 things that you can do to kind of change your credit ASAP. Now, for those of you who know what ASAP means, that means as soon as possible. That doesn't mean necessarily today, tomorrow, next week, next month. It may be 3 to 6 months before you see some major difference on your credit report. Now, some of you guys, depending on where you are, you're going to see some things right away, because every 7 days, a report is made to the credit bureau, every 7 days. So you may see some difference within 7 days, but ASAP means as soon as possible. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that this is going to happen overnight. I'm saying that we want this to happen for you as quick as possible. And I'm saying that I experienced that. I experienced renting and wanting to be a homeowner instead of a renter. I experienced all that. I'm trying to get this more or less where I want it. Okay. So I experienced that. Number one, get a copy of your credit report from the major credit bureaus, including Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Request your credit report. You can get one free every year from annualcreditreport.com. Annualcreditreport.com will give you all three of your credit scores. So make sure that you go to Annual Credit Report. Now, there's lots of different agencies to work that will allow you, like Credit Karma. Some of those will allow you to check one of your credit bureau reports because of all the hacks and all of the different things that has happened to some of these major companies. You may be able to get one in other areas from other free areas also, but I know that you can get a free credit report by going to Annual Credit Report. I used to tell my 18-year-olds or my high school students who were seniors that on their 18th birthday, check your credit. So if you make a habit of finding an anniversary date each year to check your credit on annualcreditreport.com, then you will be able to get that free report every year to make sure that no one has put anything on your credit that you didn't even know was there. Number two, prioritize your goals to recover. Once you get those three credit reports and you get them printed out, you want to check to figure out how you can recover. You want to see all those things that have been put on your credit report, and then you want to get ready to do number three, which is to dispute everything that you are not familiar with. Dispute it online or dispute it in writing. Sometimes through annualcreditreport.com, you can dispute it right there. But if they will not allow you to dispute it right there, you want to print off those credit reports and you want to get those names and addresses, and you want to dispute everything in there that you don't feel is right. Because remember, as I told you, the credit bureau is not your friend, and anyone and everyone can report something. Any of those businesses can report to the credit bureau on saying that you owe them something, and it may not even be you. It may be somebody else with the same name. So make sure that you're checking that. There's also some laws and some rules about how long they can leave things on the credit bureau and all of that. So you want to make sure that they're following those rules. Remember those three things that I told you when we first came on. The credit bureau is not your friend. They're not your family. They are a for-profit organization, and anyone can put anything on your report. So the only person that's going to be able to fight that is you. So you have to make sure that you're able to fight it. Number 4, set up automatic payments. There is beauty in automatic payments because sometimes we forget, sometimes things happen, but if you set up those automatic payments will keep you regular, and that is a big part of your credit score, whether or not you're paying your bills on time. Number 5, pay down your balances at any amount, and I mean that, at any amount. If you owe $1,000 and you got $2 to send them $2 and let them know why you're sending them $2. Some people just won't pay nothing at all. I'm telling you, send them a payment, set up payment systems. And I used to do that when I was cleaning up my credit and getting everything right. And I would write on that envelope, thank God I can pay my bills, even though it might have been less than what I owed. But what you want to do is you want to at least start. Pay them something routinely every month, and you will begin to see those balances start to decrease. And you can try negotiating with them, because I had one creditor and my balance was quite high. I believe my balance was like $8,000, $9,000, maybe $10,000. And this creditor, I had set up a $10 payment at this particular time in my life. That's been some years ago. And I owed them that much money. And they said, ma'am, we are going to write this off because that $10 is more of a headache than writing this bill off. So that may not happen for you. I'm just telling you that happened for me. But anyway, you want to set up a payment, and you want to do what you can do, whether it's $1, $10, $5, $100, $500. What can you do? All right, number 6, make payments twice a month if you can. If there are some bills that you have that you can split up, like your car payment, if you can make 2 payments a month, not the whole payment, I'm just saying split up those bills, then that increases your credit score. Open a secured account. Now, some of you guys don't want to pay people to open an account, but if you done filed up your credit so bad, that's one of the ways that you can begin to see your credit turn around. You want to open a secured account. Yes, you might have to pay in the beginning. Now, after a while, when that credit starts to improve, you want to shut them down and take some of those better cards. But initially, you might have to go ahead and pay some of those shiesty credit card companies that make you pay a fee in order to get initially started. You want to negotiate your balances wherever you can. Negotiate those balances and pay that lower amount where you can. Number 9, join a good account as an authorized user. If your mom or your dad or your cousin or your friend is willing to put your name on their account, guess what? And they have good credit. Now, if they got bad credit, that's not going to help you. But if they got good credit and they've been paying this credit card and they're willing to add your name to that credit card, you will get the same credit added to your credit bureau report, which can jump your credit in no time. Now, it's not going to happen overnight. Remember, this is improving your credit ASAP. ASAP is as soon as possible. It may take 3 months. It may take 6 months. But what's 3 to 6 months if it's going to change your life to where you can buy a car at a better interest rate? You can buy a house at a better interest rate. You can do the things that you need to do. Now, for those of you who are rich, you don't need this information because you don't even need to live by credit at all. But for those of you who are having to live by credit at this time, these are some of the things that you could do. Now, let's see where we are. Number 10, add your rent and utilities to your credit report. Unfortunately, now a lot of people are renting instead of buying. And if you are renting an apartment instead of buying a house, or you're renting a house and you can add your rent to your credit bureau report, why not? Especially if you're paying it on time. Now, if you're not paying it on time, then I don't think you should add that. But if you are paying your utilities on time, you got them set up on an automatic payment, then add those, and that will improve your credit score. Number 11, keep old accounts open if they're good. I don't care how old that account is. I don't care if you had that account when you was in college. If you paid your bills on time, make sure that you keep those accounts open. Number 12, limit your new lines of credit. Now, I'm going to tell you, when you go into these stores, These stores are going to try to get you, if you apply for credit, you're going to get 10% off, or you're going to get this. Don't keep doing that. Don't, because all that's doing is taking your credit score down. Yes, it is. Do not keep applying for those cards. Now, if you seriously need a card, or if you haven't applied for a lot of cards lately, then that might help you. But if you're trying to clean up your credit, do not apply for any of those gimmick credit cards to where they're going to ruin your credit score. Number 12, track your credit score. Once you start this, make sure that you're going in as often as you can and keep tracking your credit score. Now, you're only going to be able to go into annualcreditreport.com once a year and get your 3 credit scores, but you can go to creditkarma.com and you can get your report every day if you want to. And you can even put in a notice so that they let you know whether anybody has checked your credit or anything has happened. Number 13, don't be tricked by story. Oh, I think I already said that. Number 14, have a good credit mix. You want to maybe have your house, your car, your utilities. You want to have a good credit mix. Some credit cards, you don't want all of your credit to be credit cards. Now, this might be after you've started to get your credit together somewhat. For those of you who have no credit cards, I mean, you're starting at square one. That's not to you. But for those of you who have definitely started to repair your credit, now you want to have a good credit mix. Now I can truly say I have a good credit mix. I have a good credit score. Everything has changed for me. It was not that way all the time. I'm giving you some things, not that I heard, but some things that I know. I've had some issues in business. I've had some issues personally. And I'm thankful for those things because now I can share those things with you. But I tell you, it didn't feel good when I was going through it. You want to, number 15, if you have to work with a credit repair, you want to try a non-profit credit counseling agency first. And then you want to compare those to make sure you're getting the best one. If you look at your credit report and you said, oh my God, I can't do this, I can't fix this, there is nothing that I can do with this, and you need to contact somebody, contact a non-profit credit counseling agency, because sometimes they can negotiate some better terms than you can, and some of the things can be wiped out that you can't get wiped out. So you want to consider that. Number 16, add rent payments to your credit report. I think I might have said that already. And number 18, get a loan with the help of a cosigner. A lot of people are not going to co-sign for you because they're going to say, nope, I know you, I know what you've been doing, and I don't believe you ready to change, and so I am not co-signing nothing. So you may not be able to do that. You may have to go to my friends at towlot.com and get you a car that way. And if you don't know what Towlot is, you know what it is now, so check it out, because I bought several of them from there where you can pay cash. I think I've bought cars for $100, $200, $300 through towlot.com. So anyway, check that out if you are having trouble getting anybody to co-sign for you because your credit is so tore up and things have been so bad for you that you can't even get a co-signer. If you can, if you've got a family member that will co-sign for you, then make sure that you do that. I know that's not a David Bean from high school. The last one, have patience. Make sure that you have patience. When I say we're going to improve your credit ASAP, remember, I mean as soon as possible.